I think that was a game design testing, and I also think it was testing the LL system as well. Hello, all, and welcome to episode 25 of the Win and In podcast. This podcast is just going to be me and my buddy Gabe,
Hanging
the
out.
two amigos. It's just going to be more of a casual one. We are without Jonathan or any of our other multitude of guests that we've had before, but
hmm
yeah, we're filming on a weekday, and the reason why things are a little different today is because it's not the weekend, and I think we're going to try to change it to where we film on weekdays, so that in order to keep a consistent podcast schedule going,
hmm
instead of all these RTNs. But enough with the excuses. Let's get into those RTNs.
Holy cow!
Uh,
Yeah, they've come in
yeah,
hot.
yeah, they are. They are. So I played in 3 so far. Gabe, you played in 1.
hmm
We are none of us are qualified to go to nationals yet. I made 2 top 8s, and then bubbled out of 1, and then you bubbled out of
yeah,
1 as well, right?
yeah, we bubbled out of one as well. Didn't do well enough, but
Yeah.
so it runs. And I don't think I'll be making any other RTNs this time around.
I
There were a
got
couple.
one more to go to.
So you got it. You got this in the bag. We're gonna hype you up in this podcast, and you're gonna roll over and
I am
zero
gonna go
in.
see the boys at Reno again. It's where I played the Pro Quest and I was able to get it there. So hopefully, at least get top 4. That's all I really want. I obviously want the Jubil, but we'll see. Let's see what goes
Right.
down.
So
Um,
like,
yeah,
so you top eighted 2 of them.
yes, top
So what
82.
heroes did you get? Both the same? Both different?
Oh yeah, I
How'd you
got
go
both
with
cold
everything?
foil Uzuris, and like I do want a cold foil Riptide as well, but I think the Uzuri is worth so much more. So I think I
Well,
could just kind of sell the Uzuri
you
to
probably
get the
could.
cool.
Did you
Yeah,
see what I posted in the Discord the other day about Uzuri? Got the first living legend points? Not Uzuri. Riptide.
Azalea. Oh well,
Riptide too.
Did as well. Yeah, you're right about that. So
So
yeah,
Riptide might be on the move.
a lot of new heroes got some points in this RTN. We're seeing a lot of good results off of Oldham and
hmm
Lexi. Dromai has gotten some good results as well as Azalea and Uzuri. Those are kind of like the top 5 as far as the biggest decks, but just about every hero has gotten a win. I mean, even as far back as Dorinthia, she's
hmm
gotten a couple, and I think 3 now. We're seeing an uptick in Bravos. We saw Reiner in the top 8 of the Battle Harden in Antwerp. So it's really a really nice meta where you can be really open and kind of just play any hero to get you there. Of course, a lot of these are local metas that are these RTNs. So, but that's where you would play most of the time anyway. So local meta, you can kind of just go in with any hero and have a chance to take it. So that's pretty nice place we're at.
Yeah, no, super sweet. Like I know when we jumped over to Spokane, all the boys were on the decks that they're just the most comfortable with. Like it was their go-to deck type of thing.
Yeah.
So that felt pretty good jumping in over there.
I
I think.
top 8 with a Bravo, and so that's not like one of the big top 5s, but I also top 8 with
Mhm.
Lexi as well. So yeah, it just goes to show you kind of play any hero nowadays.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I think one thing that I thought was kind of crazy. I saw it on Twitter a lot. There was a lot more Kanos at all the metas than everyone thought. Like even at our place, I think there were like 2 or 3, and then I kept
I
just
had
seeing people
a
rant about that.
Yeah, I had to face 2 of them as Lexi, and I lost to one, beat the other one. Uh, Lost to a fellow guest, Peter Budensick, who was playing Kano.
He's a good
Um,
Kano player. I'll give it
he
to
is a
him.
good Kano player. So, yeah, Kano's actually in a good spot right now.
hmm
If you can avoid the Dromine matchup, you're sitting pretty good. Um, Cheyenne went with Dorinthia and beat a Kano. So, I guess there's always wild cards as well. So, but Kano definitely does better in an established meta, and the meta is kind of getting established right now,
hmm
which kind of takes me to one topic I want to talk about. I'm seeing it a lot in Twitter. Thank God we're on Flesh and Blood Twitter because Magic Twitter is a
Holy
firestorm
cow! We
right
don't want
now.
to get into that right
Yeah,
now.
but Flesh and Blood Twitter has its own little drama, and the drama is what the drama is going to be the same for every season, and it's like what cards should be banned. That's
Oh god,
always the
that's an issue.
argument. Um, but a lot of the Lexi cards being targeted for the ban, and
hmm
I don't know. just seeing kind of how the results from these RTN seasons are going, it kind of feels like we're probably not going to see any sort of bannings. I understand Lexi's doing well; she has good matchups, but we're seeing heroes still prevail regardless, and I think that's what LSS wants. But what's your thoughts on that, Gabe?
So yeah, no, I've seen the exact same thing. People getting really angry at Three of a Kind and Codex Frailty and all that. I don't
Rain
think
Razor.
Lexi needs Rain Razors too. I don't think Lexi needs to be banned at all because, like you said, it's not winning every single tournament. But there's a
Hmm.
lot of other great counters which are doing well at tournaments, like Uzuri, because isn't Uzuri more favored into Lexi?
Uzuri has a slight edge. Oldham, it can have a slight edge. It kind of depends
Yeah,
on how things go.
like
Yeah, I think Lexi isn't as dominant as a force as she once was. I think she's starting to get figured out.
I think yeah, no, without a doubt. And like the deck's good, but people only get really angry about it is when you get that high roll turn, and that's when
Right.
people start screaming for the bans when they see three of a kinds in a row.
Yeah, three of a kind
So
Rain Razor turn. They start, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
so I think it's just people like they've never seen these cards really played before because Lexi was more like under the rug, like it was there, but you didn't watch people play three of a kind like last year at all. And so now that people are seeing it, they're like, yeah, we got to
I
get rid
think
of
she
it.
always played it. It was more of those one of those things where it was she would three of a kind and
Mm-hmm.
then shoot with just two arrows instead of three or
True.
four arrows.
Yeah, I guess it
Um,
definitely is better now than it was, but I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
has more reach now.
I just,
Um,
Rangers just weren't as much of a thing, I guess, was my point. So people weren't
yeah,
as hot on the radar of like, oh, that card's busted.
right. Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, so I think we're good. I think
Oh yeah.
we're going to in the next BNR announcement we are going to have a change
Mm-hmm.
because Oldham with Pablo Pintor piloting the deck won the battle or the calling Antwerp,
Mm-hmm.
giving Oldham his last points needed to LL. He is going to be officially living legend and be the first hero to living legend in both Blitz and CC format. And that happens next week, really,
Yeah, I
like
think start of
after
the
RTA season.
yeah, that's coming up hot. I think if we're on the Twitter and we're talking about Pablo Pintora LLing Oldham, I think my favorite meme was the one where he LL'd Chain and then he LL'd Oldham, and now what's next?
Yeah.
On the
And I'm gonna say something like I think that is a pretty good meme, but I also think you
mm-hmm.
know really I think Michael Fang put more points onto Oldham than like anyone else by far.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you want to really point a finger at someone LL and Oldham, I think that's the guy to do it.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think it was just the final hurdle is kind of where I thought was funny.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. It was a good one. It was a good meme.
Now, do they have
Uh,
a tracker like they did last time for who got what points for the hero?
I yeah, they're gonna have the leaderboard. They're gonna have like the quote unquote like Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's really coming down to these 2 weeks of RTN season. It's coming down to your last chance to put points on the board for Oldham and to have your name in that Hall of Fame. And I haven't played Oldham. Like we've broken up, but this last RTN, I might just do it. Just he's my favorite hero, so I might just do it just to get him the points and have another Tales of Aria hero to get some points in for. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. I'm not dedicated to one deck. I might even play Kano. I don't even know. So we'll find out.
Hey, I like the way that sounds.
Yeah.
Oh
So we'll see
man.
what all goes down. But yeah, Oldham will be no more, and it'd be kind of curious to see how the meta shifts. But I gotta be honest, like even if Oldham didn't LL, and I'm actually happy he did because
Mm-hmm.
with the new Prism coming out, it would have basically like soft banned him. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
going to be able to run rampant anymore. So I'm glad to never have to play that matchup again until this new Living Legend format comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Prism or playing Oldham into a Prism, albeit a new Prism, but I would imagine it's going to be the same deal. It's just a nightmare. So don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh god, I remember that. Just you typing me up like when we were going down to that battle hardened and I was playing Oldham. You're like, if you hit a prism, it's just over for you, buddy. And I'm like,
Yeah, you just lose. You
dreading
just
it. So
lose.
I think that is a very valid point.
Hmm. Yep. But that also does mean that other heroes do get a buff. One that I can think of is Azalea and Uzuri. Oldens were really bad matchups for them. They get a buff. I know Dromai players are always going to say they get a buff. I gotta imagine Vincent is going to slow down, though. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, we'll find out. And then I guess that's about it because everyone else either had a decent matchup or it was kind of close. Oldham really held down Azalea and Uzuri the most, I think, though.
I think, like, even though, like, some of the matchups were decent or whatever, I'm just happy he's gone because I don't like playing against him. It's that long brain game that's just not that fun.
I will say, like, so,
That's my
Oldham's my favorite hero, and I like playing as him. But even as playing Oldham, I don't particularly like facing the mirror or Dromai. And it's not because I feel bad into the matchup. I actually feel pretty good into those matchups. It's just I know how those games go, and they're never going to be short. They are definitely going to be the long game, and they always go in one direction. There's not really like, oh, I could get this like, cool, awesome pivot turn. It's usually just going to do the same thing over and over, and you're going to get basically the same result every time. So I have sentiment there as well. It's just at least those games don't have to be played so much anymore. The one big time control deck is gone. He's no more. Yeah. So I am curious if we're going to get another control deck in Dusted On or afterwards. Well, I'm kind of looking. Vincent might be more Guardian-like than I previously thought.
My thought. Okay, sorry. Now I want to get back to this Vincent.
No, go for it.
I do like the idea. Just come the way the shell looks with the hero art, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's where I was at. Yeah.
So we lose Oldham. We lost Bravo star of the show. Now we only have Bravo Showstopper left. Were they not supposed to like give us a new Bravo eventually because we LL'd one? And now we have like no Guardians really.
We do have Valda and Yoji if you count Blitz. I'll just mention those guys.
I guess.
But yes, we are down to one Guardian. I don't know. We haven't really changed. Like, this Prism's going to be the first Prism, and this Vincent's going to be the first Shadow Runeblade that we've got since they both LL'd. So it might just take a bit of time.
It'll be the next set after, and then we'll get our new Guardian.
That was the original plan, right? Is that once your hero LLs, they will print your hero in the next set. Obviously, Dusted On would be way too soon.
Oh, yeah.
So ideally the next set, but, Prism players had to wait a little bit. Chain players had to wait a little bit. So I don't think it's going to be as quick as it was once said to be.
My thought, so does that, since Bravo Star of the Show was a version of Bravo Showstopper, does that not account for the same ruling?
I don't think we're going to get a Bravo Star of the Show. I don't think we're going to get Elemental Wizards or Guardian.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Yeah. I think that was a game design testing, and I also think it was testing the LL system as well, personally. That's a little bit conspiracy talk, but that is kind of what I think Starvo was there to do, is test the LL system. I think that Starvo will reappear as far as like a type Starvo-like card where you have like something like the Emperor where you have multi-class or something like that. I think that will appear, but it will not be the only hero. I think you'll have a set that releases at least 2, if not 3 or 4 heroes that have multiple classes, what have you. I think Starvo was just there to test it. So I think maybe down the line in the future, it could be near future, could be far future. I think that's something probably to come with this game.
I'm excited for it. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I actually think Starvo was a great design. I think he would have done. He wouldn't have been as impressive if you had more heroes that were like that. So
yeah, just the whole triple fusing. You have all your elements. That was cool. I really liked the bolts.
It was very cool. It was a cool new way to play Guardian. Which we'll get into our next topic here is that we've gotten some spoilers. And since we're talking about Guardian, we'll talk about the one that I'm most hyped on for. And that is, let's hit up the spoiler page. the Starstruck.
Dude, the art is crazy.
The art's pretty good. I don't remember who mentioned it. Yeah, damn, I can't even give him a shout out. But someone said that it's always funny when Bravo's getting serious, he'll resort to just punching people.
Saw that. I saw that too.
So that's a good tweet. Yeah, because Crippling Crush, he's punching. Starstruck, he's punching. They're both Bravo specializations. And those are both just killer cards. But let's talk about Starstruck. It's a yellow pitch, 7 cost, comes in for 10. So has like the same stat lines as like Righteous Cleansing. Blocks for 3, of course. And then, yeah, the crush effect. The crush effect is just overwhelming. So just if you deal 4 damage to a hero, so if you crushed them, they can't. The only attacks that they can play or activate during the next turn are attacks with base power greater than the damage dealt this way. So if you crush them, if you deal just 4 to them, they cannot attack unless it has 5 or higher attack value with it. And that includes weapons, which is insane. Like, the fact that just could eliminate attacks for an entire turn is gnarly.
Yeah. No, that's just almost a time walk, like a little soft time walk.
Yeah,
like it depends on the hero you're going against, but if you're going against a 5 or something, it's just, that's it.
yeah, like 5, Briar. There's a lot of heroes that would just struggle to come out of this. And it says base power too, so it's not even saying like a Rouse Ancients wouldn't work. You couldn't come in if you're Rousey. It's pretty gnarly, and that's just if it crushes. Like, so if you deal even more, yeah, just forget about it. Obviously, it being a 7 cost, you might think, oh well, that's going to be hard to do, but Crippling Crush is a 7 cost, and if you've ever played a Bravo, you know you're going to get Crippling Crush in that game. So very achievable, and the fact that it pitches for yellow, just icing on the top. And then we might as well get into it because we're going to be talking about this ability quite a bit here, and I imagine we're getting more spoiler cards with it, which is Unity. When this defends together with a card from hand, create a Seismic Surge token under any number of heroes control. So interesting that you can do it under any number of heroes. That's a little bit of a UPF format mechanic. But you could just do it for yourself, get yourself a Seismic Surge. Maybe that allows you to swing in for Chokeslam for just a blue and a red next turn. So kind of cool. On top of that, that's pretty neat. The Unity mechanic is a mechanic that rewards you for blocking. This game has always been more of a attack-focused game. And so now we're starting to get mechanics that are happening for all classes that rewards you for blocking. So Oldham's gone, but blocking is still going to be a thing.
Which is good, because I think some days I kind of forget to block. I'm like, I'll just take it all, like, why not? So it's all us is telling us.
The aggro mentality.
Just to calm down and read your cards and block a little might not be a bad thing.
Might not be a bad thing. I mean, like, obviously that's one that you probably want to try to put priority in playing, but, sometimes you're forced to block and you get a little reward for doing it. So that's kind of nice.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, with, how much you value a card for, the percentage points, will having the Unity then give it just a little more when you block with it? Because I just think that's going to be great, too, just on that point. You just get an extra point of happiness.
Yeah. It's, you get it. In this case, it'd be almost as if it's like a free resource for next turn. So not too shabby. Shall we get into some more?
Oh, I'd love to.
All right. So another card with Unity. In fact, every card we're going to talk about has Unity. This one is Chorus of Iron Song. We are getting a Dorinthia specialization. This is another yellow pitch. Dusted On being a Monarch set, you expect a lot of yellow pitches. Cost 1, pitches for 2, defense for 3. It's an attack reaction. Makes sense for Dorinthia. And then until the end of turn, target Dawnblade gets +1, and damage that would be that this would deal can't be prevented. This is coming into the set where we expect to see Prism with the ward mechanic. This is definitely going to be a card to be effective versus that. Prism has been a bugaboo for Dorinthia in the past, just because of her Arclight Sentinel turns, as well as just being able to get enough spectral shields to just prevent the Dawn Blade from ever hitting. So this making sure that it will hit is something that's needed. So they're allowing the old heroes to have a chance here, which I like. And then has that unity mechanic that when it defends together with a card from hand, you create a courage token. And then under any number of heroes control, we do not know what a courage token is yet, though.
Any guesses?
Take
right now?
No, I have no guess.
I'm
you know what? If it's like Courage of Blade Hold, maybe it allows your weapons to swing for free next turn.
That could be it. That could be good. I was thinking maybe go again on a weapon attack.
Yeah.
Sword, like a two-handed sword, or Courage
might be too powerful. I'm not sure. Like just free go again's pretty good. But maybe. I mean, it's really up in the air, right? So who knows?
Exciting.
Yeah, exciting. Definitely very exciting for that. All right, and then the last one we have, which this I think really sums it up on why we're getting so many of these specialization cards. Alluring Inducement, Shiana specialization. So we get, Shiana gets her own. Another yellow pitch. This one costs 2. This was an attack action that comes in for 2 and defends for 2. And it says when this attacks, defending hero reveals their hand, you may choose an attack action card revealed this way. If you do, this becomes the chosen card. Obviously, this would be terrible against like Kano or like Dorinthia, a deck that doesn't have attacks. But if they do have attacks, people don't put bad cards in their deck. So having the opportunity to play your opponent's cards, you're not actually playing their card, but you're kind of playing their card. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's a little phantasmal image.
Yeah.
That's just copy your Crippling Crush. Coming with your Crippling Crush.
Right, yeah.
Another Crippling Crush.
Yeah. Yeah, and you do it for 2 resources too. So that's like the big thing. It's like that's what really makes this card really cool. Shiana is a shapeshifter, so her being able to turn into a card is really cool, but her being able to turn into any card that your opponent has in their hand for 2 resources. Obviously, that could be as small as like a snatch, but that could be as big as like a crippling crush, like you said. So, it depends on the hero that you're going against. But yeah, the more beefier heroes, you're kind of, pretty happy about that. So maybe against Fi, Mountain Anger, I don't know. But yeah, this has unity as well. So when this defends with a card from hand, create an Eloquence token under any number of heroes' control. We do know what an Eloquence token is. That one has been spoiled to us. That is the box topper for the case, I believe.
Something like that.
If you get it with Star City Games, you get a cold foil Eloquence token as a box topper with a case. And the Eloquence token says when you play a non-attack action card, destroy it, and the card gets go again. This could be used for, like, a lot of people are saying Tome Fiando, Tome Fiando makes sense. That would be a great one to have go again. Passing Mirage, there's like a ton of stuff that you just would take to go again on, so that could really work out. So pretty cool to get the Eloquence token. Interested to see where it goes with that.
No, that card's exciting.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how many more specialization we're gonna get. With Shiana being mentioned in this set. She was mentioned in the lore previously. I'm curious if we're gonna get an adult Shiana. That would be very, very cool. I don't know if there's enough cards to make a great deck, but
that'd be so fun.
It would be cool. I think it would do good for the game as far as like the creativity aspect. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then looking forward to more specializations. I kind of think we're going to get some more so that a Shiana deck is more and more possible. You sleepy boy, Gabe. He got a lot of yawning going on.
I apologize, team. It is closer towards my end of the day for me. So I'm a little more sleepy, I guess. I wasn't noticing that. But yeah, that's my bad. Whoops. But back on the specialization, well, even how they made like Flail of Agony a specialization. And then showing us specializations to start off.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I really do think they're going to hammer out specialization. So maybe there is adult Shiana, and that's all I'm going to play from here on out.
Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, like being able to play with all the specialization cards would be a ton of fun. Curious to see where it goes. She even might have some sort of talent connected with her in her lore. You know,
Hmm.
she is being kind of mind wiped into being with Solana. So
Oh,
she might be a light illusionist, which would give her open to some light cards. So be interested to see if that happens. Then you can play Celestial Cataclysm if you have a soul.
hey, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it's the same Shiana as well. So we'll kind of
Okay.
see how that turns out. But yeah, those are the spoilers that have happened over the last 2 weeks. We'll probably get a few more in, but come I think June 30th, so a whole
Hmm.
month from now is when we officially get our spoiler season. When they're really just going to come in, pow, pow, pow. We'll see them all.
Hmm.
So excited to get those underway. Excited to see what comes out of that set. So
So
um,
can I
yeah,
can I jump in with one random tangent while we're still kind of in this area?
yeah, go for it.
Let's talk about the poster for the armor kit. Is if
Sure.
do we think that's going to be Vince X? I know we were talking about how they look kind of beefy and they might be more of the control style. Like, what were your thoughts on that? Because I know we wanted to talk about that, but I don't think we dove into it.
Yeah. So I think Vincent is. So I was looking at her art because I was doing some things with Flesh and Bauble with her, and I was noticing that she's really heavily equipped, and there's like rune symbols on the equipment itself. So I gotta imagine that there's something to that.
Okay.
I The weapon's a little underwhelming. So I kind of think
Okay.
that her ability might be more on the defensive, which would be really cool to see a new mechanic be brought into the Rune Blades. Um, yeah, so I'm kind of curious. We'll see how that kind of turns out, but
Well,
that's my suspicions.
it'd be sweet because Shadow has the carrion husk, so that's like ultra defensive. So if you
Yeah,
need to just
very.
camp
Yeah, she
out
could
and
be
just
a
chill.
tank. She could very well just be a hella big tank.
All right,
Um,
sorry, that was a little random, but that makes exciting.
yeah. No, it's fun to speculate on that one to kind of see what comes out of it.
Hmm.
Um,
Do we
yeah,
do we know how many heroes are going to be in the new set?
there'll probably be 4 to 6. There's usually
Okay,
about
that's
yeah.
enough. They
So
announced it or
well,
not?
I don't think they have. I think as far as what they've announced, it's nothing new as of last time that we spoke.
Okay.
Um, and I think that's honestly kind of wrapping things up here. It's just Road to National season, so we're getting a lot of deck lists, and we're getting in, uh, you know, a few spoilers here and there just to
Hmm.
keep people's interest high. And then the big news, just Oldham being LL'd. But after that, it's just fab as usual. You know, it's a very active time to be a Flesh and Blood player playing on these RTNs. And then afterwards, we'll have a little break period where you get to play a no Oldham meta before the new heroes come out. So that'll be fun. And then once the new heroes are out, it's gonna be a whole new meta, a whole new grind fest coming. Nationals will be on its way. Monarch
Hmm.
draft into Dust to Dawn. Everything's gonna get exciting all over again. So, yeah, I imagine we'll have some news, and we'll try to get some new guests in to keep things spicy around here as well. So, yeah, I think that's
That
the
sounds
plan.
sounds perfect to me. I'm excited for all the future that it has to hold.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, so I think that'll do it. A little short episode, just just a kind of a recap and just to keep up with the podcast because we don't want to have you guys think that we've forgotten about all y'all. And we love doing the podcast. So it's just I think from here on, like I said, we'll do the weekdays instead of weekend because usually we're playing Flesh and Blood on the weekend,
Hmm.
so it's hard to do the podcast all the time. So at least this will allow us to keep on schedule for you guys and for us. We love doing these. So. Anything else you want to talk about, Gabe?
Nope. I'm content. This was a glorious day, my friend.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. we got some cool stuff coming for the YouTube page. So check us out in the next couple of weeks. We're pretty excited what's coming up. But until then, keep on fabbing. I'll catch you on the next one.